Yo, what's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good?
What up? What up? What up? Let's go.
Episode 33.
33,
Divisional
we in there.
round. The divisional round. Crazy divisional round.
Crazy
Crazy
round.
divisional round.
Crazy round, man.
Lots to talk about in that space. Lots to talk about in that area, man. But how's it going, News? How you doing, man?
Good. Good. Hey, it was, in 2 weeks I get to meet you in person.
Let's go.
For those of you who don't, for those of you who don't know, we have been gaming together for close to 3 years now, right?
Yep. Almost 3 years.
A couple of the other ones just a little longer. So we tried to get together for Deuce's rugby tournament in August. COVID, life happens. So we said, how can we get together to meet up? So we said, hey, Super Bowl weekend. Everybody should be off. Get some time off. So we're going to take a little time to get together Super Bowl weekend in Vegas. All of us are going to get together, kick it for the weekend, link up with people who we've developed relationships with. It's always more than a game, people. It's always more than a game.
Yes,
So that's
sir.
going to be good. Cream
This,
City Kickback. That's what we calling it.
hey,
That's what
man.
we call
I This is why next time I ain't even gonna tell y'all until we get to the live episodes. I'm gonna bring it up then. This why we gonna order everything in bulk next time.
In bulk next time. That's why we have to order in bulk.
Damn. Tough.
For those who y'all won't know why we call it Cream City Kickback. Last year there was a run-on joke in the chat. Everybody knows I'm always looking up jerseys. I like Milwaukee's Cream City Bucks jersey, and it just kind of went on a running joke between that and Krispy Kreme. It was like a 3-day running joke, and this was at the same time we was getting ready to plan the kickback. And I was like, I'll just call it Cream City Kickback, and it just became the thing. So 2 weeks we'll be in Vegas Super Bowl weekend, kicking it, man. It's gonna be fun.
Super Bowl weekend, and it's only gonna be the first of many. We already got next year in Arizona planned out.
Yep.
We actually missed an opportunity this year because we found out that the Pro Bowl game is the week before in Vegas.
If we would have looked at that, we would have been there next weekend.
Yeah.
In Vegas.
Oh
instead, yeah. Because I bet you there's like easy to get tickets for the Pro Bowl. I bet you it's like easy to get in there.
Especially with everybody around this time saving up their money to go to the Super Bowl, depending on if their team wins. So it's like none of our teams is in there. So at the very least, we could have been at like the little competitions that they have.
Yep.
The little skills challenges.
Cool. I would have been cool too, because then I would only had to use one vacation day instead of having to use about 3 of them, because I'm off that weekend. I could be like, oh, cool, got off, caught a flight right after work and been cool. But it's all working out. It's good. And we'll be there 2 weeks in Vegas having a good time.
Cool. As y'all can see, we're missing the third person. We're missing Pale, who usually will be around down that area over there. But he gonna be back next week. He gonna kick y'all off with a nice fresh this or that, or on the spot, one of the two. He might even feel a little jumpy and give y'all both of them.
All right, it was real quick before we get into divisional round recap and our outline. Pale has it on the spot. We'll go with this week's version of on the spot. In this week's news that just happened between when we was last on and now on the spot, is there any sports related news that took place that you would like to comment on? I got one I'm ready to snap on, but I'm gonna let you have a chance to go first, or I could go first while you get a chance to think.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sean Payton fake as hell,
bruh.
Sean Payton is fake as hell, and I am calling that. I told my homie Sean when J10's diehard New Orleans through and through.
Oh yeah, everything New Orleans.
And when we saw the reports, I said, J10, if Sean Payton leaves, he's fake. He's fake. I told him, I was like, yo, I will give it to you. Y'all was robbed of 2018 Super Bowl. The bad call with the Rams, the interference, y'all was robbed. I said, yes, bro, y'all was absolutely robbed. I'm not taking that from y'all. I agree. But if Sean Payton leaves, if all these reports is true, And if Sean Payton leaves, he's fake to me. I think he's fake to me. And I know some people will be like, I seen a lot of people bring up his targeting and how he got suspended and stuff. I'm gonna keep it G. I didn't care for the targeting. I didn't care for targeting at all because as a football player, you know somebody's coming out to kill you.
Oh yeah.
And if unless they're not, and I didn't feel like they were doing nothing at the time, unless you're like being absolutely dirty, like under the pile, doing stuff or like clearly late hits, I'm not gonna say nothing because that's just part of the game. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to like break bread off of that, do your thing. I personally didn't care for the targeting. But if you are going to, it's like you have a house and you're renting it out to tenants, and before they leave, they just absolutely trash the house and take all the in-home appliances that was already there, and they take it with them when they leave. And then when you come and you look at the house, and they're like, you're like, yo, you're not getting your security deposit back. Like, even worse, you're out money because they took everything now. He left that team in cap hell because they invested so much to win within Drew Brees' window. And you got 1 year after a Hall of Fame quarterback, 1 year after a Hall of Fame quarterback retires, and now it's too much for you. You're fake, bro. You're fake.
With the potential of some real big name quarterbacks getting ready to be on the move, right? Russell Wilson potentially on the move. We don't know yet.
Yep.
Potentially. Nope. Aaron Rodgers potentially on the move. We don't know.
Yep.
Potentially on the move. Deshaun Watson still up in the air. This man could go to any team next year and contribute immediately.
Yep.
Like, because that was the Texans' decision not to play him.
Yep.
Not Deshaun Watson's.
Exactly.
So
he's that after I saw that news and me and homies talking, he was like, yeah, bro. He told me, he was like, we would hire from in-house, we would promote Allen, or I think it's Carmichael. He said Carmichael, who's actually been calling the plays with Sean. So he was like, he said, I just feel like one of them would step up. But he's so confident in their GM, and I'm like, yeah, your GM does a good job. I was like, but Brian, how much can you keep kicking stuff down the road before you just got to sit with it?
Yeah. I mean, they had a top 5 defense last year.
Yeah.
Top 5 defense. That's
but a lot of people
all you needed was a quarterback.
Yeah. And now you got it. Now people got to get, like, they paid Lattimore, DeMario Davis contracts. So like, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they technically got like 25 people, I believe, that have to have contracts. And you're like, yo, they about to walk, bro. Like,
damn,
y'all about to be out of it. And so yeah, that's me. That was my hot reaction for the week. When I seen that, I was like, yo, Sean Payton's trash for that.
My big story of the week. It's probably a little over a week now, but it's more selfish, man. The Eagles finally back in Jalen Hurts. That to me was the biggest sigh of relief as an Eagles fan. But not just the coach, he's continually come out to say that. The GM came out and said that. Yeah. Everyone pretty much said that. And now I feel like all the pieces are falling into place. Brandon Brooks is retiring. That's our starting guard. All pro guard. He's retiring. Lane Johnson's probably on the cusp of retiring. Kelsey probably close to retiring. We got a Pro Bowler who should have been a Pro Bowler, and Jordan Mailata, who's left tackle. He should have been a Pro Bowler. Slay
got robbed on all pro, not Pro Bowl.
And some of the things that helped for me by them solidifying that and backing Jalen Hurts was it didn't make sense for us to get Russell Wilson, right? Yeah. Russell Wilson needs to go to a team that's a quarterback away from a Super Bowl.
Yep.
The 49ers make sense to me. 49ers are a quarterback away from doing something great. We all don't believe in Jimmy Garoppolo. We know that.
None of us do.
Are the Eagles a quarterback away from going further than that wild card round? No.
Yeah.
No. Not at all. Not with Jalen Reagor instead of Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
You know, so that to me was like the breaking news this week that felt good.
I'm glad they did it early too, because we talk about it all the time. Rookie contracts is your best deal. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Rookie contracts is your best deal. And him being a second round pick, you don't get that other option, but it gives you the chance to go in and be intentional in other places besides quarterback. So you could be like, hey, we got draft capital, we got the ability to pick up 2 guaranteed starters in the draft, day 1 starters, and continue to build this team up. And so that's why I was like, cool. They have an intentional plan that they're gonna go with into the offseason. So I felt like that was a good thing to do.
Hey, it was definitely a sigh of relief, man, for me. Especially as
Yeah.
an Eagles fan, man. Jalen Hurts did his thing. He grew from year 1 to year 2. You know, obviously we're not gonna put him up there with the Justin Herberts and the Joe Burrows, because those are just, they are surrounded with talent on the offensive end.
Yeah.
Right. But we got to put him up there with those rookie quarterbacks. He's definitely doing a lot better than some of the formal elite quarterbacks that we used to talk about.
Yeah.
But let's dive right in, man.
Let's dive in.
Hell of a divisional round. Hell of a divisional round.
So we got the first game up was
Bengals and the Titans.
Bengals and Titans.
Early Saturday game. We'll switch over to take a look at some of those stats and see what that looks like. Bengals and Titans. 19-16. Are you surprised? Are you surprised at the score? Are you surprised at the outcome? What are your thoughts, man?
I thought the Titans would win. I had the Titans winning, not because I just thought they were better, it's just because I was just like, well, I thought they were a better coach team. The only reason why I thought the Titans would win was I was like, Vrabel will put something together to keep Cincinnati down.
And they're at home. They're at home.
Yeah, they're at home. I was cool with Derrick Henry coming back, but I didn't expect him to go out there and kill the game. I really didn't. I knew he would be effective, but I wasn't like, yo, he's gonna come out here and go for $180 and 4 TDs. And the Bengals have a good defense. Like, they have a good enough defense. So I'm surprised they won. I'm more surprised how they won, and that it kind of got sloppy-ish. This is their second game that they had to play towards the wire. And Tannehill throwing 3 picks. You're like, yo, dude, like, you trying to get stomped out of Tennessee.
Man.
So the only pick I don't really fault him for was the Mike Hilton one on the goal line, the tip and then the catch, because I was like, that's kind of a freak thing. You know what I'm saying?
You got to catch that. You got to catch that.
Yeah.
Catch it or bat it down. Like,
yeah. So I was kind of like, yo, I think that left his mind, and when he saw it tipped, he went into tackle him mode instead of get the ball down. So I was like, you should have got that down. But again, that's just a great play by him to do that. So again, my snap reaction was Tannehill's out of Tennessee.
Man,
that was my snap reaction, was Tannehill is 100% out of Tennessee.
But
he will not be their starting quarterback next year.
That to me has to be the story going into this, man. And I do feel like the Bengals are better suited for the Kansas City Chiefs than the Titans would be. But at the same time, man, like, we'll get to it later down the line when we talk about that matchup. But every team is almost built this year to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's tough because the one thing, again, every team knows that they have to go play Kansas City eventually at some point. But I wasn't wowed by Joe Burrow this game. Not because he had a good game. I feel like he had a good game. Again, it wasn't nothing that I was like, he dominated the game. I felt like it was more scrappy than I thought it would have been. The Bengals are a feisty team, and I just feel like start the game from mixing out, and then, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like sometimes they start on the outside in the passing game, and then they be like, all right, where can we fit Joe Mixon in the mix here?
Yeah, I mean,
no pun intended.
Joe Burrow out there throwing 37 times in a game that they barely win.
Yeah.
I think they controlled the possession a little bit more. They controlled the time of possession throughout the game, but I don't think 37 passes shouldn't have got it done against the Titans. But I think it will get it done again. You have to do that against the Chiefs team. You have to control the ball.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. So
Tannehill. Where's
yeah, so we
who's the
sit down with
replacement?
Tennessee. We sit down with Tennessee and we do our council thing every time the team loses. We say what do they need to do and what's their likelihood of coming back to the playoffs next year.
Mm-hmm.
As long as the Titans have Mike Vrabel as their coach, Henry as their running back, I'm always gonna say in that division, the way that it's currently set up, they have a high likelihood to make it to the playoffs.
Okay.
As long as Mike Vrabel is arguably coach of the year and one of the better coaches in the league, best coach in that division. Is he best coach in that division? Let me not say some Colts,
Yeah.
Texans, Jags. Yes,
Yeah.
best coach in that division, which is AFC South, probably weakest division in the league currently between Texans, Titans, Colts, and Jags. So
Yeah.
yeah, arguably.
I
So
hate
as long
I
as you,
hate you, Moonwalk. I hate you, dog.
so as long as
I
you
hate you.
got Vrabel and Henry, and the defense showed out, 9 sacks. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they play great.
The defense, yeah, the defense showed out. So, and they played a lot. They lost a lot of games this year. They wasn't supposed to, but they was COVID related and stuff. As long as you got Vrabel and Henry, I think their chances of winning that division, unless something drastic happens between Watson or rumors, like somebody threw it out there. Why can't one of these quarterbacks go to the Colts and the Colts move off of Wentz, Wilson, Rogers, something like that to the Colts? As long as you got Vrabel and
I don't think
yeah,
the Colts are a quarterback away either, though. Like I think they.
I do.
I got the Colts winning their division next year. I think they win the AFC South next year, personally. Just because they ended the year on a hell of a run, right? And we talked about that early.
They feel like little brother to me to the Titans because Vrabel just always seems to beat them down no matter what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have split with Tennessee early in the year, they would have been in the playoffs. But they've been getting swept by them. They got swept this year. I can't think off the top of last year. But Tennessee just seems to have their number. Again, it's early. It's early. But I think they have a good likelihood. And I wouldn't be shocked if so. I'm not gonna say Tannehill has to go, but you have to make an investment because clearly the quarterback you lost to and the two other quarterbacks we're gonna talk to are in your same division, and you gotta have a guy that can be ready to compete with them. I do think it's possible to win with Tannehill, but he's also not somebody I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna move off of him for something lesser just because I'm pissed off at him.
What quarterbacks on the market right now, realistically, would you go and get in front of Tannehill? Because I've never been I've never been a Tannehill believer ever since
I've never been a
they
Tannehill
started him
believer either.
over. Only reason he got his spot is because Mariota went out with a concussion that year. He was out with a concussion 2 games. Tannehill had a great 2-game streak, and he just never. Same as the Patrick Mahomes situation, all those other situations where quarterbacks stepped in and took over. It's kind of what happened with him and Mariota. Mariota wasn't playing great.
Yeah.
But
I think they're just gonna have to draft one. Because I realistically can't see them going out and getting another one. I really think Tannehill 75% still their starter next year. And I think they'll just draft one. I think they'll pick up what quarterback in his draft class seems like they could work over there. I'm halfway off of Kenny Pickett. I don't know. I just don't. Yeah, I just like he seems like a Tennessee dude, but I just don't like him for some reason as of lately. I got to do my stuff. I don't know, but I feel like this would be the draft that they would go pick somebody up. I feel like this. I definitely feel like they're gonna draft somebody and be like, he's gonna sit.
What pick? They'll be in the late first round, right?
Yeah.
I mean, quarterbacks in this draft. I don't know. I mean, you got North Carolina quarterback.
So Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell, throwing wise, is the most talented dude. But I think he's only like 6'1", and like he really like he throws dots. They're not powerful. He got a good deep ball.
You got a Cincinnati's quarterback. Desmond.
I don't know about him either.
Me neither. Matt Corral coming out of Ole Miss.
Matt Corral got a gun, bro. Matt Corral got a gun. That mug flies. But he's like and I'm not the type to critique quarterbacks, but like when I go listen to people who critique quarterbacks, they don't like how he's like all upper body throwing with this much power. He has like no lower
Oh
body
yeah, yeah.
fundamentals or nothing. But he flings it.
And I mean, you getting a raw quarterback with him. I mean, he lost all of his all of his weapons left in 2020, right? 2020, 2021. Yeah. So he was playing this year. I think he had what does it say? He had 10 turnovers.
I think Malik Malik Willis. I think he's the dude who has he's the biggest reward to me if you could get him right. He's the biggest reward. I think if you really take your time with Willis, or even he could probably walk in now. I'm just not a fan of where he played at school because I don't know how much that's going to translate. So yeah. I'm really starting to watch these quarterbacks now because I don't want to be lazy and be like, well, we don't got a big name like we're used to.
Yeah, so. And I mean it's going to be tough for Titans too because they're at a weird point right now in their with their personnel. Right, you got an aging AJ Brown. You've got an aging Julio.
Yep.
You've got Derrick Henry, who I can't imagine he's going to go another 2-3 years, putting up almost 2K, on pace for almost 2K every year. He was on pace for 2K this year, but obviously he got hurt. So, all right, man. That takes us into our next game. Another surprise game. Another surprise L. Unless you were Mr. Moonwalk, who's in the chat, who kind of
Packers 49ers
almost called this. Won by a field goal. They came came back too.
Yo, I was watching this game and then I fell asleep.
Damn.
I was watching. Yeah, I really did. I was watching this game and then I fell asleep. I woke up and it was 1:30 in the morning. And I assumably woke up like Green Bay was in scoring position when I fell asleep. And I was like, yo, what the hell? I woke up, I was like, hold up, no, this can't be real. Like, let me go to Facebook. Bang, bang, Niner game, all up and down my timeline.
This was one of those games where you really appreciate having a Kittle on your team.
Yeah.
Because in that last drive, man, I think George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, two big names everyone kept saying. George Kittle ran the same route almost all night. Man didn't run too many routes. He only got targeted 6 times, 4 catches.
Deebo, if it's a 3rd and 7 and your coach is comfortable enough to hand you off the ball to go convert for the field goal, you got some trust. Like, you got some trust. And then 2, we always make the argument it's Kittle and Kelsey. It's not head over heels Kelsey. And people are like, well, Kelsey's numbers and this and that. But then when people watch Kittle, you tell people like, yo, if he was in a pass-happy offense, you would see his numbers be way more off the charts like that.
Oh, man. Absolutely.
And then I go back and I remind people, I think it's in 18, Kelsey set the record. The very next year, in 19, Kittle broke it. Then the year after, Kittle got hurt. Last year, Kelsey re-broke the record. Mm-hmm. And then now they're here. And I'm like, yo, sometimes you got to understand what each tight end is being asked to do. But when I look at them, I see no different player in skill set. Like, they're both great tight ends.
Yeah, they both can block. They both block their asses off, man. So
yeah. I take a block punt and a block field goal in the same game.
In the same game.
A block punt and a block field goal. That's crazy to me. That is truly a 3 facets to the game victory. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be good on all. Like, they got a homie who says, guy I watch on YouTube, he says it all the time. He says, you don't care about special teams until they mess up. When they go kick a field goal, you expect them to make it. When they punt the ball, you expect them to punt it. You don't care. They was like, you don't even know your long snapper's probably been on your team for 8+ years. You know,
that's like, facts. That's facts.
You don't even know his name until he messes up.
I think a big turning point too, aside from those, man, a big turning point was AJ Dillon getting hurt. AJ Dillon, he was that changeup for them. Yeah. And they lost him early in the game.
Yeah. So what about Moonwalk Parlay say? Green Bay's offense play calling sold, and other wide receivers not named AJ or Tay couldn't get open. Plus, never go cheap on special teams.
Bro, so
that's what happened.
I don't think any receiver got a target until the third. Any other receiver other than Devontae Adams got a target
That,
until the third or fourth quarter.
that first drive, Tay was killing them though.
Oh,
And
he
you
had
were
like
just like,
six catches on the
you
first
were like,
drive.
yo, you like, yo, this is top dollar QB wide. This is why we paid the shit out the 40, 50 mil a year for
Man,
these two dudes. You know what I'm saying? And then they had a play, I think it was the last 3rd and 15, something like that, where he threw it to Adams in double coverage, and I guess they said Lazard was wide open. And I was like, you guys throw it to this guy. And I'm like, look, man, when you're in a moment like that and you got pressure in your face, you're gonna go find the most trusted dude you got.
you know what route
Yeah,
your number one guy is
yeah,
running.
you know where he's running. And so sometimes it's like that. So hey, but kudos to the 49ers defense, because they did
Absolutely,
step up. Green Bay's defense stepped up and did their thing.
absolutely,
Remember,
absolutely.
without the special teams block touchdown, who knows what this game looks like or how that play calling changes.
I want to say about
So
the third or fourth quarter, which is an attribute to Green Bay's defense. They had George Kittle at one catch for 17 yards. One catch for 17 yards, up 10-3 at that point. So at that point, I'm like, okay, it's a wrap. It's okay you don't have A.J. Dillon at this point. You still got, you still got Aaron Jones. You still got Tay. When you have Aaron Rodgers on your team, you always got a chance.
Yep.
But I think that shift in momentum as soon as that block punt happened.
Yeah.
And hey, man, shout out to one of the polycasts that scored the touchdown. We gonna go down here and highlight his name. Where's he at?
Hufanga? Yeah.
Talanoa Hufanga. He scored the touchdown to tie the game, man. Shout out to him.
I'm glad he's such a 49ers dude, though.
He is such a oh my goodness. Bay to the death of him, for real.
Yeah, I was like, yo, get him. I could see him being super versatile on defense. Yeah, big ups to him. As soon as he got it, I was like, hey, good for you.
I was cheering, but then I was also like, man, I'm a little conflicted because I was cheering for the Usos team. I want one of TTE's team to be in the Super Bowl. But then I was like, okay, he threw up the T's after too. He was like, yes, sir.
Hey, so it's crazy. They said there's a stat that Jimmy G is 9-0 in playoff games that he does not throw a passing touchdown.
Oh.
Jimmy G is 9-0 in playoff games that he does not throw a touchdown.
That's tough.
Yes. And so you have people who's in the mind of like, yo, just play Trey Lance. Trey Lance could do everything that you just did and add maybe a little more.
And give you some athletic rollouts, give you an option.
Yeah. So I just, on that end with Jimmy G, is he's the dude that we know that he is. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna. He said 2-9-0 is for Green Bay. We know Jimmy G's not backpacking the franchise, but the only thing he's doing right now, to me, for the 49ers is because they're in the NFC Championship game now, is now they could probably finesse him for a late first-round pick.
Is Jimmy G?
Yeah, because some team's going to fall for the trap. They're going to be like, oh, well, he got here, take this late first.
He's got like a year left on his contract, too.
Yeah. And so does Rodgers.
A year or two.
Technically, I thought Rodgers was unrestricted after this year. He's not. Rodgers still.
Yeah, he signed that 2-year.
Yeah, Devontae's the one who can still get tagged, but he's not gonna play on the tag. That's where they're both at. They're stuck. I thought Rodgers could just walk, and he can't because he has 1 year left. Devontae can walk, but Green Bay also has the rights to tag him, and we know tag players get paid with the top 5 people at your position average.
Yeah, so he'll get a good amount under a tag.
Yeah, it'd be like 19, 20-ish for the year.
Yeah.
But he might make just for next year is 19, but I don't. If Green Bay tags him, he will hold out 100%. He will hold out.
So that moves.
I believe that without a doubt in my mind.
That moves us into the Green Bay conversation of what is next for Green Bay. What are some of the positions that they need to address? Obviously, they didn't have Bakhtiari this week. I think they were hoping they won to go into this week.
Yeah.
Bringing back Bakhtiari, having at least a 75-80% healthy O-line. But they don't have that now. So now they have the whole offseason to address that. What are some of the positions that they need to address? Other than the obvious of getting some help for the wide receiver position.
Yeah, they just got They have a great roster, top to bottom, great coaching, great roster. Get some solid special teams player, like just sure up your special teams, whatever you got to do with that. Roger said that he will. I was listening to his interview on the McAfee show. Roger said that he will make his decision before free agency. Free agency is middle of March.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna make his decision probably a little after the Super Bowl, because he did say that he would give them time to know what to do. I do think that their conversation is gonna be open and honest. We're gonna be like, hey, just trade me. I'm gonna retire or I'm gonna come back. I think that's just that's the three options.
I think there's gonna be definitely stipulations to if he does sit down and be like, yo, y'all gonna have me for the remainder of this contract and I'll sign another year.
Yeah.
But what you need to do is pay Tay and go get me another receiver, man. Like,
and that's and
go
that
get me another receiver.
Said, and that was what he said in his interview. Is he was like, they was like, well, what are you gonna do in your talks? He said, well, first they got to talk to 17.
Yep.
So like we've all said, and like Paula said, they're gonna play like they're not gonna play in Green Bay without each other.
Facts.
That's a fact. They're not gonna play in Green Bay without each other. So Green Bay, I believe Green Bay's first priority, go give Tate every ounce of the dollar that he wants.
Yep.
Go, because clearly he's earned the money. 2 is, I do think if Rodgers comes back, he will match Devontae's contract on a year length.
Yep. He'll stay as long as Devontae stays.
Yeah. So I think he'll stay as long, and he might. I won't say as long. I think his contract will probably match the years on papers, but you know what I'm saying? He'll be like, hey, pay me here, there, in case I want to walk away in 2 years. But I think if they both do stay in a perfect situation for the Packers, is Tay will get a 4 or 5 year deal worth the most money of whatever receiver is getting paid. Clearly, you do not offer him nothing less. He has to be the highest paid receiver. 4, 5 years. Rodgers, take that, extend him like 2 more years. And then you do what you should have did in the first place. You trade Jordan Love.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, you get rid of Jordan Love. If Aaron Rodgers says he is staying, you get Jordan Love out of the building. Because somebody's going to take a risk on him. Somebody's going to want him. You get Jordan Love out of the building.
Second, late first for him. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Get Jordan Love out of the building.
Selling for a bag of chips.
Yeah.
Go and get a receiver. You got Brandon Cooks. You got a lot of these receivers coming that's going to be free agents next year. Not a lot of people going to talk about this, but Godwin's going to be a free agent next year. And if Brady's gone, get that man some money. Get that man some money.
Yep. So, yeah, just match their contracts. Now, if they don't, we talked about the destinations that we think Rodgers could go to. Denver, Pittsburgh.
San Francisco.
But but Brady also hinted that he wanted, if he was to play for a third team, it would be San Francisco also.
That man needs to just go on and retire.
But we'll get to him when we talk to them. But yeah, that's both of them have mentioned that because I guess that's hometown stuff for them or whatever. But
that would be huge for them.
Yeah, Denver picks him up. I think they would have to trade 2 firsts and maybe Jerry Jeudy and maybe Simons, something like that. Like Simons, you have to be 2 players. Yeah, 2 players and 2 picks, and they could get Rodgers.
Yeah, because I think Jerry Jeudy's still going to be on his rookie contract.
Deal.
AJ Dillon is still on his rookie deal with this Packers team, so they ain't even got to pay him for another 2 years. Even when he is up, tag him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, why wouldn't you tag AJ Dillon when he's a huge compliment to Aaron Jones?
And then worst case, he just retires. And he says, I'm out the game. Now you're out the game, and you have to deal with contracts, and you're going to have to stand behind Jordan Love. Like, it's a snowball effect. Like, that is 100% the snowball effect of why you make your decisions.
We'll see what they do, man. Green Bay Packers, y'all are on the clock. Obviously, y'all got until March until Aaron Rodgers decides what he's gonna do. But once he does decide, it's up to y'all to see what y'all gonna do.
Yep.
Next one, man. Next game. I think this was the Sunday game, right?
Rams and Bucks.
Rams and the Bucks.
I
picked the Rams just because I felt like they was on the high. my heart was telling me pick the Rams. My head, the logical part was like, why are you betting against Brady at home?
Yeah, I turned my bet because of that logic. But if I would have held to my foundational truths, you got as hurt as KC did going into the Super Bowl. I should have never picked you.
Chris
You
Godwin's
cannot,
out.
yeah, you cannot lose that many people towards this part of the year and start to think that you're going to stay afloat. So, and I think the last 3 games, the Rams have beat them earlier this year, last year with Goff. I don't know. Some coaches just seem to have certain things over some people, and McVay's pretty much been whooping Arians behind. And so
Late in that game though, it was looking real dicey.
it really was
Real dicey. And I think that was McVay just letting his foot off the. He let his foot off the gas a little too much. Like, let's be real. It's uncharacteristic that Cam Akers got any running back for the Rams gets 20 or more carries. Super uncharacteristic, right? And I think he got away from his fundamental of let's just go and score the rock, bro.
Yeah.
They started running the rock a little too much.
He should have split the load. He should have, like you said, he should. Sony Michel should have got more carries. You should not be trying to overwork. Like, well, I'm not gonna say overwork, but I feel like it's a show of faith too. But this game, outside of the 4 turnovers the Rams had on fumbles,
2 fumbles, one at the goal line.
Yeah, like this game this game really should have been a blowout.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he fumbled right before halftime on the goal line. The bad snap over Stafford's head. Cam Akers fumbled. Cooper Kupp fumbled. Like, 4 fumbles opened the door for them to come back, and they really could have soiled it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I guarantee you that doesn't happen next game. The next game the Rams play, you're not gonna get 4. You might get a Matthew Stafford interception.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you ain't gonna get fumbles like that.
If I would have told you last week, A's, I looked into the future. I don't see the box score, but I just see who has turnovers. And if I told you the Rams had 4 turnovers and the Bucks had 2, we would have been like, Rams suck.
Rams out. Rams out.
And then we would have been like, at 4 turnovers, our mind would have went to Matthew Stafford soiled it. Mm-hmm. And he had to throw 2 picks at least, but he did none of that. All fumbles.
He played one of the cleanest games I've seen him play all year.
Yeah. And so that was like the fact again, 4 fumbles it's really, really bad. They gotta split that load. Like, Cam Akers is good. He is a good player, but so is Sony Michel, man. He's been holding y'all down. They need to be doing 55-45 on the carries, bro. You can't give him 1 carry like I'm looking here now and being like, yo, I know you're trying to instill confidence because Akers is back and he fumbled and you didn't want to go away from him. Yeah. But like you said it with the James Conner deal with Arizona. Mm-hmm. Why when one dude comes back, you stop feeding the dude who got you here? You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, you're taking away from the man who was really doing work. Like split the load. Don't take it away from him.
There's a reason y'all trade the 2nd round pick for Sony Michel. Like, y'all didn't have Cam Akers. Y'all didn't have Darrell Henderson. Sony Michel was your dude. You got to lean on him. You got to continue to, like you said, spread that load. Plus, I mean, at the point in the game when you're up 27-3, the opposing team knows you're going to run the ball 3 downs. You know that. And when you got that's probably the one only healthy thing about this Bucks team is that defense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you got healthy guys on the defensive side like Levante David, Winfield, JPP, they all got healthy.
And that's the thing too. Last week they played the Eagles and they got the ability to be front heavy and run heavy. You know what I'm saying? They was kind of just stacking the line and just like, hey, throw it. Then you play a team that's gonna send it. You know what I'm saying? Whose identity is that? And you start to kind of see them get broken down. Like, Kupp was snapping, and the first 70-yard touchdown Kupp had, you're like, yo, that's just a beater, bro. Like, they have a great team, but a lot of their pieces too are now they've hit their prime, and now they're slowly like. How much can we expect JPP to continue to play at this level without having to take on a limited load?
Not at all. You got Shaq Barrett.
Shaq Barrett got paid, but he's kind of at that point where you're like, this is the point where you go from being having a great season or 2 as a DN to like, okay, how long is this production that you're giving us sustainable?
Yeah. A guy like Levante David. Have we seen
Yep.
the best of him already? Because he played out of his mind last year. Devin White
Yep. Yep.
played out of his mind last year. I don't think
Exactly.
we'll see another season like that consistently from.
Nah. So Tampa Bay going into their offseason, number one is Brady coming back or not?
Mhm.
If Brady, let's hear this out. If Brady retires and Todd Bowles takes another job and Byron Leftwich takes the Jacksonville head coaching job, the NFC South becomes the worst division in football. This is what the only reason people care about the NFC South right now is because Tom Brady's at the Buccaneers.
That's facts.
If Tom Brady retires, Byron Leftwich goes and becomes the Jacksonville Jaguars coach, and Todd Bowles takes another head coaching job. NFC South really trash, really fast, and for a really long time.
Bucks, Saints, Falcons, Panthers.
There's no quick turnaround for none of those teams. Now, let's rewind it back 4 or 5 years ago, 2013, 2014. Saints was being dominant.
Mm-hmm.
We had our stretch.
Cam,
the Falcons turned around, had their
Matt
MVP
Ryan.
Super Bowl year 2016.
Yep.
We had a decade where we was a really good division, and now we all fell off at the same time.
Yeah.
Well,
nobody wanted to play y'all in the domes, even in the
nobody.
South. Like nobody wanted to play y'all.
We fell off, and it just fell off like that. And that's where you could look at coaching. We got rid of Rivera. Falcons got rid of their coach. They went to Dan Quinn. They got to their Super Bowl. They go with Dan Quinn. Sean Payton's leaving. Tom Brady walks into their division. Now they're gone. And nobody prepared properly because we were so invested to win in that moment because you had to play against who you were playing with, which brought up a good point. Nick Wright said this morning. He was like, that's why Dallas doesn't win in the playoffs. And you see two NFC West teams in the NFC Championship game together. They was like, because you really are only going to be as good of a product as your division allows you to be. And they was like, Dallas thinks, he was like, people took a victory lap for Dallas because they're the last game against y'all. When y'all clearly sat everybody.
Everybody sat.
Yeah, and Dallas pump faked the league by putting up 50. And they was like, and everybody was like, y'all just did that for yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all just did that for yourselves. So if the worst case, if I know Arians is about to leave, I just ask him, like, are you gone, bro? Hey, Todd, stay in there. Like,
are you
Todd,
leaving?
Stay and take the job. Yeah, like Todd Bowles, stay and take the job. Because I am very shocked that no head coach has gotten hired yet. I've seen GMs get hired. I haven't seen not a single head coach get hired yet.
I think everybody waiting for that pin to drop, man. Everybody waiting for the Tom Brady move. Because the Bucks got a whole staff full of head coaches. Especially, I think the Jaguars, like you said, Byron Leftwich, former quarterback from the Jags. I think that is where he goes.
Yep.
Todd Bowles, defensive genius.
Yep.
So it's like there's a lot of head coaches just waiting to be on that team.
Godwin could dip. Evans and Vita Vea, they're paid. They're set. Yeah. They're the only two people who are going to be there next year for pretty much. And Shaq Barrett. Those are three people who will be there who are vital pieces. Everybody else can pretty much be on their way out.
I think Gronk talked about staying because before early in his season when he came back last year, he was talking about I'm only going to catch passes from a guy named Brady.
Yeah,
he made it known pretty early this year that, hey man, I like it in Tampa. I like the city. I like the team. I might just stay here and catch passes, and that's I think that's a good security blanket to have.
No, it is. Another quarterback. I don't think he's going to charge them anything either. Gronk, he got money other places. He's really different compared to how other people function. But OJ Howard's about to be out. He said they got Leonard Fournette. I think that's going to probably try to get some money from somewhere because I don't think he was making as much as he would have liked to in Tampa.
Dominic and Sue's probably out.
Yeah, Sue's probably out. So this can get very, very bad for Tampa very, very fast. So and it's like you said, everything's going to depend on Rodgers, Brady, and who's going to be the first head coach to sign. Because some of these teams are doing it right to me by signing your GM first.
Yep.
And then going to get your head coach.
Because then when you sign your GM, you know what kind of vision they're going to have and what coach they want to bring in to make that come to life. Or you just be like the Steelers and give the GM and the head coaching job to your head coach.
And some people can't handle that though. Like we've seen people try to do that and they can't handle it. And so like that's like Pete Carroll did a great job of it now, but now he's like he has all that type of power.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's sustainable for anybody. I think you can hit and be good, but I don't think that's sustainable because you need other eyes. So
all right, man, that's it for Tampa. Pretty much waiting for the pin to drop on a Tom Brady move to see kind of what happens there. Potential game of the year, man. Potential game of the year.
Bills,
oh my goodness.
Chiefs.
Bills and the Chiefs.
Bills, Chiefs, man.
It turned out it was the only game to turn out the way we thought it would with the home teams and how balanced each matchup was.
Yeah.
But man,
this was a game, man. This was a game. This was a great game from both teams. Man, I think the end of the game overshadowed a lot of what Mahomes did in the beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The way he was able to extend plays and the scramble for yardage saved them a lot. It saved them a lot, man. Like, they don't understand his ability to extend the play and keep things alive really kept them in the game in the beginning, man. And then after that, Buffalo got worn down. You can see they got worn down, man.
Yep. I think what we saw this game from Mahomes was the evolution of him saying, you know what? I'm pretty athletic.
Yeah.
I think if Mahomes had did this in the Super Bowl last year, had a little bit more confidence in his legs, because they weren't running no spies on Mahomes. They were just running. They were throwing their DNs out and then in instead of straight up the field to close the pocket because they know he can get out and extend the play. But I think Mahomes would have made that Super Bowl a lot more interesting had he used his legs more, like he did this game, which he needed to do.
Yeah, he had that opening 35-yard rush, extended a couple third downs in the beginning, put them in a great position, man. It was, on his end, it was just like, his awareness and his understanding of what they're doing in that offense is just crazy, man. Like, it really is.
It's built for Mahomes.
Yep.
Like,
it really is.
Andy Reid and Mahomes are just a match made in heaven. Like,
but it's also built off the fact that you have Tyreek.
Yeah.
You can't duplicate that speed. And that's the reason why people run that cover 2 stuff on him, because him and Hardeman are so fast. But if you take Hill out of that, they have to change that offense. Because you're so scared. Like, that touchdown by Hill was crazy. Like, you just knew once he got to a certain level, you were like, he's gone. Like, he's gone. Like, there's too much grass. He's gone. Like, he's gone, and you knew it. And so that's what got me there with that, is like, when you look at it, you're like, well, why do they constantly defenses play? When they get down to the goal line, there's always some type of motion sideline to sideline, and then they just pitch it right up the middle because you're so scared of how fast they are. Like,
they got some ridiculous speed, man. Crazy. Yeah. Plus, I mean, when you add a Kelsey to the mix, and you add a guy like Jerick McKinnon, who's probably one of the best signings in during the season. Jerick McKinnon. When you add those guys to cover all 3 levels of the field, and when I say all 3 levels, I mean you got somebody that covers 40 plus. You got someone that goes from 15 to 40, and then you got somebody that goes from the goal line to 15.
Exactly.
It's
exactly.
It's crazy, but looking at the other side, man, looking at the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, man, I never thought I'd say this about a losing quarterback in any situation. Never thought I'd say this. Josh Allen is that dude. I think for me, we have to put him in that conversation with those guys.
I think, well, for us, we've always been high on Allen, just like we've always been high on Herbert.
Yep.
I have not been high. I still don't think Burrow comes close to that class of QBs. I feel like people are taking the fact that he won these 2 games over how he performed in these 2 playoff games. People might elevate him, but good thing we're not people. Good thing we have our own mind and we do this. So we knew Josh Allen was good. We knew Justin Herbert was good. We've also made it extremely clear Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league.
Mm-hmm.
We just told people we had a problem with you going, it's Patrick Mahomes number 1, and the next best guy is in 5. I don't agree with people talking about Patrick Mahomes as 1A and Josh Allen as 1B. I don't think that's it. I think it's Mahomes is 1, Allen is 2. Like it's
Yeah,
not no
it's
like
very clear, very very
yeah,
clear.
it's not like no tit for tat. It's no, Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in the NFL. And I agree with what Colin said. If you're any GM and you don't have a franchise quarterback and you watch them two play, you have to reevaluate how you attack this offseason, because that is who's going to be one of the two guys who's going to be playing for the Super Bowl or contending for the next 5 years.
You got to go through this team. You have to.
Somebody has to go through this team. So we believe Justin Herbert is this type of talent.
Mm-hmm.
We believe Justin Herbert is this level of talent. Yeah, he's not again, they're athletic. Everybody's athletic and mobile. Burrow's not, but he's effective. So I respect it. Herbert is this level.
6'6", 6'7".
Yeah. Herbert is this level quarterback. Lamar isn't this level quarterback because he hasn't consistently made that big throw.
Mm-hmm.
I could be sympathetic, and y'all know I'm a Lamar fan. I could be sympathetic because I still stand by he doesn't have all his weapons. But again, next year, I expect Lamar to come in next year and dog, or he's going to show he's not on this level. I think Lamar sits back. Yeah, I think Lamar sits back and he looks at this matchup and goes, all right, I know what I got to go do now.
Yep.
And so I'm expecting a different approach from him next year.
And there's no way he doesn't come in next year with a coach like Harbaugh, who is a quarterback.
Yeah.
To not come out and perform next year the way he know he can.
And I think this is going to change Harbaugh up. I think he's going to have to be like, you know what? This is the game now. And so I expect him and Lamar to make those adjustments that they have to make. That also makes me go back and think we talked about before when I came to the first podium and I talked about Trevor Lawrence being the Jason Tatum of the NFL and how all the good QBs are going to be in the AFC, because let's say this for an example. When I came there, I said Trevor Lawrence would be suffocated by circumstance, right?
Yep.
Because he plays with Mahomes and Allen and Burrow and Lamar. 7 of the top 10 QBs for the next 5 years are all going to be in the AFC. We said this before everybody decided to start saying this yesterday after this game. We said this 6 months ago.
After they waited for the playoffs to happen.
We said this 6 months ago that 7 of the future 10 top QBs are all in the AFC. And if you're a quarterback that wants to make some money, go to the NFC because all of them are old. Imagine this for a second. You got Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, clearly 1 and 2. There's a fight for 3. We put Herbert there. The other guys we named are all on their way out of the league. Even though Stafford's having a good job, he can be out of the league.
Brady.
Kyler, Brady on the way out. Russell Wilson on the way out. Aaron Rodgers on the way out.
Yep.
Dak Prescott is not this level quarterback. We've had that conversation. Kyler Murray, jury's still out. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he's built like that. I don't
think he's built like that either. But I do think we talked about it. He's for damn sure over Dak.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah.
Dak will become the new line. Dak will become this generation's Tannehill. That's what I'm saying.
Dak is the Romo of this generation.
Yeah,
on the same team.
But the benefit for Dak is potentially the NFC is going to get so bad here soon, quarterback play wise, that he's going to be able to hopefully find his way. I'm not even going to say to a Super Bowl, to a conference championship game.
His biggest challenge right now is within his own conference with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
Yeah,
maybe Heineke in that defense, but that's your competition right now.
Yeah,
within your conference.
And if Dallas was to make it to a conference championship game, he's still going to face one of these other quarterbacks we talk about: Stafford, Wilson, Trey Lance, who assumingly will be taken care of with 49ers, and Kyle Allen. We don't. The rest of the divisions in the NFC we really don't know. But the AFC, you can. So like I told you when we get there, I'm on project help a brother out for all of the rookie quarterbacks who were drafted this year. So like I said, imagine if you can get a Calvin Ridley to the Jets to help out Zach Wilson.
Ooh.
Imagine if Allen Robinson goes back to Jacksonville because they got some money and they got Trevor Lawrence, and then Jacksonville uses some draft capital to pick up another receiver
They got
in the draft.
Laviska Shenault, who's still on his rookie deal.
Shenault. So there's an opportunity for both the Jets and the Jags to say, hey, I can go get my young QB weapons.
Yeah.
Like, I got money to break bread and to go get them weapons. And now you could potentially have, in the Jets and in the Jags, two more really, really great potential QBs who now have weapons and who now have in Leftwich. I like Robert Saleh. I like the Jets head coach. I feel like he's a good coach. And now you have him in a Belichick and McDermott type deal, and you got other good quarterbacks. Like we said,
I love his energy. I love his energy that he brings to that team. He matches. I think he matches the energy of what that team needs, especially being a young team like that.
Absolutely. Like I do too. So you got Mahomes is 1, Allen is 2, and what we got to see at the end of that game, you were just like, if you're the rest of the league, this is what you have to look forward to. This is the new standard.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we have the new standard and we knew Peyton and Brady was the dudes forever, you still had a Big Ben, a Nick Foles, and a Joe Flacco who found their way in the middle of that to win rings.
Phillip Rivers.
In the middle of one,
Phillip Rivers to get up in there, mega challenge there. Eli Manning 1-2.
So you have those opportunities in there where you can slide like, hey, we can, we have our chance here now.
Yeah.
But like, man, I wish I could say there was something Buffalo could do. I still think Buffalo walks in next year. You don't got the best coach in the division because that's still Belichick, but you got the best quarterback in the division. You have the second best coach in the division, Sean McDermott, but you're about to potentially use both your coordinators.
So if I'm looking at this Bills team, right? I'm looking at this Bills team, and I want you to keep me honest on this. I look at the Chiefs; they're the big brother team. When the Bills say that they were built to play the Chiefs, I believe they meant that literally. With a little bit better of a defense, they got Josh Allen, who's pretty much a little brother Patrick Mahomes. Let's be real.
No.
They got the running backs over there. They use them the similar way in Singletary. You got Diggs, who's supposed to be their Tyreek. You got a Dawson Knox, who's supposed to be their Kelsey.
Yep.
You know, their personnel pretty much just matches up. So I'm looking at it realistically to think about what they're going to need over these next few seasons in order to make it over this hump. That is KC. KC's going to have to either get hurt or just continue to have a super dookie defense.
I think I'm with it. Like, I stand with majority of everybody now on that specific game. If Buffalo got the ball in overtime, they would have won.
Oh yeah.
Like, so I really think that's just it's a splitting hairs thing. If the game's in Buffalo, I think that's how close the matchup is. You know what I'm saying? So like, I really don't think it's nothing I can say be like, hey, you need to do this or that. Like, I think they are fairly matched, like well matched up.
How much of a difference do you think if Buffalo's defense was 100% healthy? And they had everyone who was actually out.
You know, it's a big difference because that's an all-pro corner and White who's missing.
Right.
But Matthew went out too early that game. Like, Matthew went out too
and that was huge. That was huge.
But I have to be fair to both sides. That means both of them will be playing. And I still think it's just that close of a game to where literally I feel like Buffalo, outside of the top heavy superstars, is a better built roster and team.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the fact that it's Mahomes, Hill, and Kelsey at home, that's my leverage that's going to make me say KC's going to win. You take that game to Buffalo, and I'm going to pick Buffalo. Oh, yeah. That's how close the teams is to me. It's going to come down to home field advantage, and when you get to that moment, who has the ball last? That's who I'm going to think who's going to win that game. But KC has something that Buffalo's going to potentially lose. I don't think Bieniemy or Spags is going to go anywhere, but both of the Bills coordinators is on head coaching interviews, and they might lose both of them.
Damn.
So both the coordinators. Yeah.
Do you think that's where the Bills need to address going into next year? is their
Yeah,
coordinators as opposed to any
yeah,
personnel moves.
yeah. Because I mean, if you lose both your coordinators, that's going to be an issue. Like I don't think they lose any personnel. They drafted well, so I expect them to continue to draft well. But when it comes to personnel, I think I'm. Oh, it's rumored that I don't think it's rumored. The Giants GM was some assistant GM or something in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody connected to Buffalo, and that person said that they would go to the Giants if they could hire Brian Dable, the OC for Buffalo. So it's almost assumed that them two are going to go together and go to the Giants. Like that's what's assumed right now.
Sheesh.
So Bills could be losing their OC to the Giants. So
As
I
a
think,
fan, selfishly, I hope they stay another year, run that back, and see what they can do, man.
yeah,
But I'm also a pro go get your money too. So
yeah,
y'all got too much money
yeah,
though. Pass some of that over here to TTE Talks
yeah,
and sponsor us a little
for
bit.
real,
You feel me?
for real. Yeah,
Like,
I think it's just 100% person. Like I'm more concerned with the personnel, but like I said, outside of Hill, Kelsey, and Mahomes, I think the Bills is a better built roster overall.
cool.
And
Cool. That was the divisional round, man. Going into the conference championships, we got 2 games. Real quick, man. Let's look over both of these games and let's talk about who's going to be in the Super Bowl. We'll start off with the early game on Sunday. The Bengals and the Chiefs. We're going to be
Bengals and
playing
Chiefs.
in KC at Arrowhead Stadium.
So let's go through our breakdown. Bengals, Chiefs. Quarterback.
Oh, we're going to the Chiefs, hands down.
KC. Running backs.
I gotta go to Chiefs.
On a production level, I gotta go to Chiefs too. But I like Mixon the best.
Yeah, I like Mixon, but to have Clyde Edwards-Helaire and then a change up in
McKinnon and Gore. So yeah.
Crazy.
Receiving core, including tight ends.
I gotta go to the Chiefs.
True. Yeah.
I gotta go to the Chiefs. And I think the big difference for me on that is Kelsey.
Yeah, I gotta go to Chiefs too. O-line.
Chiefs. Burrow do a whole lot of running. D-line, I'll go with the Chiefs too. Surprisingly, man, that D-line is starting to get healthy, and they looking good.
Yeah, linebackers.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I like the Bengals linebacking core.
I like Bolton and Willie Gay. I like Bolton. And the secondary. Bengals.
I'm gonna go to Bengals. Yeah.
KC secondary is
outside of Matthew, man. That whole secondary is butt.
Yeah. Hey, coach.
Oh, Andy Reid.
Andy Reid. What would you say would be the Bengals win? Soi comes up. Headline of the news. Magic number. The Bengals did what in order to win in KC?
The Bengals rushed for 150 plus yards.
150. That's your magic number.
150. If they hit 150 yards rushing, and I said this last week, I said if Josh Allen was going to quietly get 150 yards rushing, I think he ran the ball for like 15 times for 60, 70 yards, something like that.
Yeah, it was like 60, 70-ish.
For me, I think the Bengals, in order to control the pace of the game, they're going to need to rush. Not just Joe Mixon. That means Joe Burrow. That means whatever running back they put in there. They're going to need to produce 150 yards on the round in order to beat the Chiefs at home. Because there's no way you're going to take the formula from the Bills and see what the Bills did and match that. You don't have the personnel to do that.
Got you. 100% agree. I'm going to say if I think the Bengals win if they win the turnover margin by 2.
Oh, 2.
2. And the reason why I say that is because in their first matchup, at the end of the first quarter, Eli Apple dropped an interception. Last play of the quarter, Mahomes threw it on purpose. Not the pick. It was just like, it was like a couple seconds left. You could tell Mahomes was like, hey, let's see if we can get something. Eli Apple had it in his hand, dropped it. I think the first or second play into the second quarter, they score a touchdown. 7-point swing. Somewhere in the third quarter, they dropped another one. It was like a third down. Safety undercut one of the running back checkdowns, had it in his hand. And I think Pringle knocked it out. And so there was no picks, but they had an opportunity to get 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bengals are going to have to be pretty opportunistic today In the game, they had 3 picks against the Titans. I think they can't have a turnover, and they need to find a way to get 2 turnovers. I want to agree with you and say, hey, control the clock, run the ball, but I'm also thoroughly convinced that they're not going to do that. I really
it's a
am.
reach. It's a reach.
Yeah. So I think it's more realistic for me, not say realistic, because again, I 100% agree with you. They need to run the football. That's been a consistent theme to beat KC is to dominate the run game.
Oh yeah.
But if you're not gonna run and you think you got big nuts like that, hey, have big nuts like that. Do your thing. Be clean with the football, have no turnovers, but go force you 2 turnovers. And I'm not asking for nothing that I didn't see that you were capable of doing in the last matchup.
Facts.
So if the Bengals can have 0 turnovers and they can cause 2 turnovers, doesn't have to be picks, get you 2 turnovers, then I can say, okay, the Bengals won this game.
Tua said my dark horse might pull it off. Stranger things happens in the playoffs. You know, I hate when Tua's right because he makes sure to remind us that he's right.
He's right.
Every one of those moments he gets. Every moment. But
bing, bing, bing. Sunday morning paper. Nick Wright is going off. KC has won the game. What did KC do in order to win the game?
Not turn over the ball.
0 turnovers.
0 turnovers. Kelsey gets 10 catches.
KC got 0 turnovers. It's like a 50 ball.
Man.
KC don't turn the ball over at home in a championship game. They scored damn near 50.
Then they're automatically Super Bowl favorites.
Yeah, it's automatic. It's automatic. Yeah, KC has 0 turnovers. They clean up. I know some people was like, well, I feel like we took out so much energy with the Buffalo game, but I'm like, yo, as a player in those situations, when you play a tight game like that, for me, it made me energized for the next game. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, yo, we did this. Like, we have to. I'm in the locker room, like, told y'all can't nobody mess with us. Now go out there, you know what I'm saying, with your chest out, and just dog them from the jump.
You got to speak as a player, too. As a player, we're going into the locker room. We already know the Bengals won. We already know we playing them. So for me as a player, it's like the Bills are behind us. That clock is at
that's done.
At 4 zeros.
Yeah.
I'm already looking at how many points I want to score against the Bengals, how many tackles I want, how many sacks I want, my matchup. In my head, I'm in the locker room celebrating that.
Yeah. And I think this is definitely one of those things when Andy and Eric and Mahomes comes out, real methodical, work it out, break them down. And he said no turnovers. KC's going to have close to 50 on the board. I feel like that snapped him right in the spot.
All right, TTE picks for this game, the AFC Championship. Who is the winner? By how much?
I got Chiefs by 10, easy.
10? Okay.
Easy.
I'm gonna go Chiefs. I'm gonna go Chiefs by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I got it's double-digit win. It's a double-digit win.
I think
Jamal Burrow gonna torch the KC secondary. I got KC on a double-digit win.
I'm gonna go 35-14.
I also seen the stat somebody posted of Joe Burrow, said ever since he got to LSU, every do or die game he has not lost. So his college playoffs, technically this year, when he was supposed to must win games to get in the playoffs, he hasn't lost. So basically, if it's win or go home, Burrow doesn't go home.
Bengals by a touchdown, Rams by a blowout. Oh Lord! You know what? But it's for the sake of making it different. My logic is telling me that the Chiefs are gonna blow this team out. But the other side of me is saying, you know what, Joe Burrow, show me why you should be in this conversation with Justin Herbert. Show me why. Justin Herbert ain't even in the playoffs, but show me why you should be in that conversation.
You're absolutely right, because remember, Burrow's 25.
Oh,
he's a year younger than Pat. So when people say, "Oh, we got some of the league's young hot quarterbacks," yo, these dudes is mid-20s. You know what I'm saying?
As a 5-year senior at LSU.
Yeah, they're not. I was like, yo, they're not young quarterbacks. Young quarterbacks is, you know what I'm saying, rookie class. You're saying Jalen Hurts, that's your younger quarterback.
22, 21.
Yeah. I was like, what's Burrow's second year? He's 25. Like the man is 25. He's older than Lamar. He's older than Herbert. Like, he's 25. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, he's the same age as Allen. He's a year younger than Mahomes. Like, bro, he's 25. He's not a young quarterback. So yeah, I'm with you. This Burrow needs this in order to be like, yo, I can be named amongst my peers here.
We want to see that from you, Burrow. I know we not. I know Casey's gonna be in the Super Bowl, and I hope you prove us wrong, man. That way we can get you on this podcast and tell us that we wrong.
Yeah,
to our faces.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I am more on. I've seen people hot take it and be like, Burrow's the best quarterback in that division of the AFC North, and I'm like, I'm not gonna throw disrespect on Lamar like that. Like I was like, I'm not gonna throw disrespect on Lamar like that. Again, I feel like that's a heck of super recency bias. Lamar's still that dude. Yeah,
get to the Super Bowl, Burrow, and maybe I'll whisper that softly.
Yeah,
for someone to deny me.
To the
NFC Championship game, man. 49ers in LA against the Rams. Is saying that they're not selling tickets to anybody that's not an LA resident of LA County.
I think that's trash.
That is super trash. You got to have an LA County. Basically, you got to have an LA County address in order to.
I don't know how the sales go during the playoffs, but I always felt like it should have been an opportunity to be split.
It should.
And as far as I know, is season ticket holders from both teams get first priority. That's as far as I know. My father-in-law and the people I know here, a couple of my homies who are season ticket holders, every time the playoff comes, they get first priority.
They get like a 12-hour window before it opens up to the public.
Yeah. So like I feel like the NFL at that point needs to step in and be like, hey, nah, like this is because again, it's something that I didn't realize. The Rams, the fact that they're playing at the Rams home stadium and the Rams is hosting the Super Bowl, this interferes with their preparation for the Super Bowl because they're not used to being at the place. They're used to having pretty much a month to get to wherever they're playing at.
Yeah, and with this as big as a halftime show they having, they're really playing the Super Bowl during a concert. That's really all that's happening. Yeah.
So it's again, I heavily disagree with the Rams doing that. I feel like the NFL spot like needs to be like, nah, I feel like being an LA market, I can understand why you do that because you want to pan the camera around and see a whole bunch. But I feel like that takes away from a lot of the people who really, really love these teams and who want to come see their teams.
I see one of my friends call out the Frisco fans too. Like 95% of y'all from the LA area anyways. Like y'all ain't had the Rams to cheer for the last 10, 15, 20 years. But y'all from the LA area anyways. Y'all shouldn't be complaining. You just buy your tickets from your family. Well, I agree, it's trash, man. You can't just monopolize tickets like that to your fan base.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they still gonna see a sea of red in there with the 49er fans that live in LA.
Yeah. I mean, so I understand when it was like college and they'd be like, yo, you got to play at USC or Texas, and like you got like you're really at an away game, all USC people here.
Oh, yeah. Like, you're at the school, like that's the school stadium.
Yeah, like that's the school. So yeah. All right, let's get to our breakdown. 49ers Rams quarterback. Rams.
I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Running backs.
I'm also go with the Rams.
Yeah, you're gonna go with the 49ers because I got to consider Debo.
Yeah, I keep forgetting Debo, man. I'm gonna still go with the Rams. I'm gonna still go with the Rams.
Mm-hmm. Receiving core. So you got Beckham, Van Jefferson.
I'm going to go with the Rams.
Debo, Kittle, and Ayuk.
I gotta go with the Rams.
I'm gonna go with the Rams also.
I think Coop is gonna beat his. He's gonna beat his matchup more often than Kittle is even gonna get targets.
Yeah.
So
O-line. 49ers for me. I just keep seeing Trent Williams going in motion, smacking dude.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! When they put him at that tight end position as an extra line, oh my goodness! Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Niners.
That's when you get up like Tom Brady and you walk over to their coach and you be like, "Hey man, go to hell, dude. Why would you put me in a position like that?" As
a defensive player on the D line, bro, the last thing I want to see is y'all let me release, and I'm thinking it's a screen, so I turn and look for the running back, and I get mopped up by a tackle pulling. Oh no,
pulling on emotion. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, he's a great sport for that. Going after him after that. All
I don't
right,
know.
D-line.
The Rams.
So you got Bosa, was Donald and Miller in them.
I gotta go with the Rams. The difference maker for me, yes, it's always Aaron Donald. But Von Miller showed up last game.
Yeah, Von Miller's been balling.
He finally showed up.
I think he's playing in the moments where they asked him to play. They was like, "Yo, just be ready for the playoffs."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think, yeah, that's Floyd on the other side of them was doing good too. They had a good package from what I was seeing. They was dialing up.
Yeah.
Linebackers, I gotta go 49ers.
I gotta go to 49ers, man. Fred Warner is on his own.
Might not be playing, man.
Yeah, man. I think he got hurt even more that last game.
Yeah.
Against Green Bay.
I think
he'll find a way. He'll find a way.
And then secondary.
Secondary, I gotta go with the Rams.
Me too.
Jalen Ramsey is all the difference, man. He shuts off a quarter of the field.
Twitter is going crazy. 49ers have won. They went into SoFi and beat the Rams. What's the reason in the headline? What's the magic number for the 49ers to win?
Jimmy Garoppolo throws 3 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Oh, boy. Trade. Hey, hashtag trade Lance. Hashtag trade.
Jimmy Garoppolo throws 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and Debo still rushes for 2.
Hey, Jimmy throw 3, no picks. Forget the yardage. Jimmy throws 3 TDs, no picks. Trade Lance. Pay me my money, San Fran.
three touchdowns, no picks, under 250.
That's crazy.
That's gonna be the headline. If the 49ers win, under 250, 3 touchdowns, no picks.
That's the magic number for me too. If Jimmy G could throw 3 TDs, the San Francisco 49ers will win this game.
Yeah. There's no way this man goes and throws no touchdowns this game and they win this game. No way. Man. Debo gets locked up by the Rams defense. Everyone's been saying that to Debo all year.
Can't lock up Debo.
They just throw him in the backfield and this man rushes for 150.
They can't lock up Debo. Dude's unstoppable. Ding, ding, ding. Twitter's going crazy. Headlines are going crazy. Snoop Dogg's crip walking in the street. Gin and Juice is playing through the LA streets. Rams won. What's the headline?
Cooper Kupp, 12 catches, 150, 2 touchdowns.
150,
2 touchdowns. Anytime this man has over 100, at that point, the other team overloads on that side. You forget about Beckham over there. You forget that these fools can run a play action and give it to Cam Akers. Give it to Sony Michel. But Cooper Kupp is going to be the key to this game. 12 catches, 150, 2 touchdowns.
I got mine. Ding, ding, ding. Jimmy G. No. Jimmy, see you later. They made Jimmy G look stupid. They got this man up out of San Fran. He's gone. He's getting stomped out in L.A.
Tough.
He's out of here.
Tough.
They will make Jimmy G look bad. The Rams win. Jimmy G is going to look like they're just going to make it be so easy to be like, yo, it's been good, my boy. We'll holla at you.
Does he even make it back? Does he even make it back to Frisco?
Nah. McVay, like Shanahan will give him a Airbnb over there. Be like, yo, bro, it's all good, bro. We'll ship your stuff to you. Don't even come down to the
FedEx
crib,
overnight it to you, bro. We might even get it to you same day.
Bro. Don't even trip. It's been good, my boy. Trey, don't give him 5, bro. Come on. We got stuff to work on.
We're gonna get your mama 50-yard line seats in the press box. She ain't gonna be sitting up there no more.
If the Rams can make Jimmy G look, if the Rams make the 49ers life easy to go into this offseason and be like, Garoppolo is done. We got Trey Lance. We're ready to go. I do not think Jimmy G can afford to have a bad game, but Shanahan is on the last 6 matchups against McVay. So it's like McVay could beat Cliff Kingsbury, but McVay can't beat Kyle Shanahan. And he's like 6-0, 8-0 against him. So it's I don't know what it is. I do think right now the Rams, as dangerous as the 49ers are, I do think the Rams are still overall the kind of better team on paper.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we win coaching. I don't think we win coaching comparison.
Yeah.
Who wins the coaching battle? I can't answer that either. I can't answer that.
I can't answer it either.
I think
I can't answer
that
it
one
either.
I'll take a stalemate.
Yeah, I'll take a stalemate on there. And we told my brother last week we would take McVay over Arians. He was so locked up on that Super Bowl.
He thought
Told
we
you,
was a
bro.
fool. He thought we was a fool.
You know what? And so I went back and I asked myself, because we don't discredit no rings. But my stance was if Casey had a healthy O-line, they would have won against Tampa.
Oh yeah.
But just like Tampa Bay last week, they did not have a healthy O-line. They could not protect their quarterback. They lose.
Who was it?
So when
Eric Fisher? Eric Fisher was the reason Casey lost the Super Bowl?
No, Mike Rimmers. Mike Rimmers. Eric Fisher got hurt. It's Mike Rimmers. So I went back and I said, well, let me see. Let me double check. Because I do have low-key a bad heart towards Bruce Arians. Because I saw him soil in Arizona. We dog-walked him in the NFC Championship game. We put him on the Sean Payton treatment and made him leave Arizona. So I've always had a little bit of a issue with Arians. I think he's a fun dude. I think he has a kick-it culture. But I think like the structure that they have, I don't think it's no structure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a house party and everybody's like the good players get to kick it and just show up at game time. When I go back and I look and I say, well, what is the difference between McVay and Arians? Like, I got to kind of dig deeper. And I found it. For me, I saw what Arians did with Winston and I saw what McVay did with Goff. And that's all I had to get. That's all I had to say after that. I saw what Arians did with Winston and I saw what McVay did with Goff. And I said, that's enough for me to feel justified in my decision.
I can't even be mad at that.
Yeah, because at the moment we was like, it's close, but we're still taking McVay. Then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna take McVay. I mean, like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with McVay. And I go deeper, and I'm like, well, McVay was extremely successful with Goff. You was getting dog walked in Arizona. I mean, you made some Super Bowls with Arizona. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna discredit you, Arians. You fell off towards the end, and you had Winston, and you fell off there, and then you got Brady, and everything seemed to be redeemed. So I'm cool on that.
All right, man. So, we wake up. Actually, we're going to sleep on Sunday night. We're preparing for the Super Bowl. Who are we celebrating this win with? We're going to be celebrating it with Jay on Facebook and saying, congrats, your team made it to the Super Bowl again. Or are we going to be saying, damn, it's a good thing y'all lost because now you can get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo?
We're going to be celebrating with Jay. I think we're going to be celebrating with Jay. Yeah.
Okay. He's going 9-0 against McVay?
I cannot ignore that. I can't ignore it. And it's even I fear the window that they let the Tampa Bay come back in. I don't think as much as so I think the Rams have those highs where they can go 20, 21, 28 really quick. But it has been a tendency shown throughout the course of this year. They're gonna leave a window open. Like they're gonna give you the remember, week 18, they was up 17-0 on the 49ers. If they would have beat them that game, the 49ers would never be here.
Yeah, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Yeah, we wouldn't have it. So it's as much as the Rams' success is a part of their identity, their ability to fall off is just as much as a part of their identity too.
Damn.
And so, yeah. So
what you're saying is the Rams play just like the Lakers right now. Y'all got a bunch of big names, get up 15 points against the Kings, and then lose by 12. Jeez.
Yeah, I can't ignore the fact that I can't ignore that Shanahan has something on McVay. I just can't. Like, it's just something to me. Everything up until that point was like, if I put the emphasis on coaching myself, I can't ignore that. Okay. I just can't ignore it.
Okay, so for me, I still got the Rams winning. I got the Rams winning by a touchdown. Rams are going to win this game by a touchdown. And I'm going off the pure fact that the Rams are coming with a little bit more momentum at home against a team that limped through the game against a really, really good Green Bay team. Yeah. And a lot of things had to go their way for them to win that game. Block punt, block field goal. You lean on Debo to get you those last couple of first downs. Aaron Rodgers isn't able to convert at the end.
Yep.
So for me, I'm leaning into the momentum in the home team. That's what I'm gonna lean on this game.
Yeah, I think it's very close. I can see a touchdown. Somebody's gonna win by a touchdown. I don't think this is gonna be no last second field goal type of game for me.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. But I'm gonna lean to the 49ers.
Cool.
That's me my pick on the 49ers.
It's gonna be extremely interesting, man, to watch going into next week. Next week we'll have Moonwalk back. We'll have Pollard back with us. And we might touch a little bit more on the NBA. We're not gonna do too much of that today, really any of it. Not really much to talk about. We're kind of getting into the All-Star break here soon with the NBA. Halfway through the season.
Reason why we don't touch the NBA this early is because people love to push micromanage games, and we sit by the foundational view that wait till the All-Star break. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's an 82 game series. You know what I'm saying? And if we reacted to every game, one game, this person will be the greatest, and the next day will be trash. But by the time we get to the All-Star break and we're really able to see teams being healthy and where they stand at, it gives us the opportunity to give people a fair view of what we think going into the year.
Yep. Plus, I mean, COVID's always playing a role into it. Everyone that seems to be out on a COVID leave for testing positive comes back and has a whole lot of rust on them. I think our quarter
not a single
MVP
person in the NFL had to do any health and safety protocols over the playoffs.
Bruh.
It seemed like they was doing fake health and safety protocols at the end of the year, so they didn't have to do none during the playoffs.
And it was over here talking about they suspended Antonio Brown, 3 games for faking his vaccination papers.
Yep.
And like you said, I didn't see one person.
Everybody and their mama the last 2 weeks of the year was getting on safety and health protocols because they wanted to get it out the way. I bet you some people didn't have, but they wasn't gonna do it to nobody in the playoffs.
How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet if Patrick Mahomes tests positive?
He's not sitting
this
out.
Week.
Nobody's saying nothing.
They do everything to bury that mug.
Actually, Willie Gay did play this week, right?
Yes.
Earlier in the week he went to jail.
He went to jail?
I thought y'all would have saw that because y'all part of my timeline. Yeah, like so the game was Sunday, right?
I don't know. You had like 15 posts and I only got through like 10 of them.
No, I didn't share this story though. I didn't share it because I didn't want to share it. But like Tuesday he went to jail. Like Monday or Tuesday, Willie Gay went to jail. They said he had a domestic dispute. Wasn't nothing abusive. From what I got was him and his baby mama got into it and he broke the vacuum and she called the cops and he went to jail. And then one of my homies was like, Willie Gay better be in the game. And I was like, yo, I said, by the power of Patrick Mahomes and our mayor, he's gonna be playing, bro. I was like, if it's nothing that's gonna have to like take him, like they'll deal with it in the offseason. And then I even had a homie who like went online to the site and was like, oh, this is transcripts, bro. He cool.
That's tough. You go to jail earlier in the week before a playoff game. You still playing a playoff game.
They won. They beat Pittsburgh, and then like the next morning they were like he went to jail. I was like, yo, what the hell? I was like, bro, trust me. I'm like, trust me. If it's nothing he'll be good, bro. Like, he'll be good.
That's tough. Man, all right, y'all. Expect here in the next couple of weeks we'll go through our halfway through the NBA season MVP. We already did our quarter of the way. We got MVP DeMar DeRozan. I'm pretty sure everyone's opinion is going to change going into this halfway mark with some of those hot teams. But one question for the NBA for you before we wrap it up here, man. One question: who is your surprise team this far into the season, almost at the halfway point? Who is your surprise team in the NBA right now?
Cavaliers, man.
Ooh, bruh.
Cavaliers. Before we got on, I think they was up on Bucks, and which was a very important game for them because I think that would have put seeding between 4 or 5. So I think that I can't ignore the fact that they're still here at this point in the year, which make like I have to like I'm locking them in. I believe they're going to be a playoff team now.
Yeah, they're not even at a play-in point right now either.
Yeah, like they are in the standings. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I think if they beat the Bucks tonight, that should move them up to technically 4 on the board. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They're not floating. They're in there, and we know at this time this is when teams start to see a little distance get put between. The Cavaliers, man, they was one of the teams we was like, yo, what's going on? And the Cavaliers is Yeah.
It's a huge attribute to JB Bickerstaff, man. JB Bickerstaff went over there changing that. He's changing that whole. I'm glad that the Cavaliers are establishing something post LeBron.
Yeah.
Because you know we at
Didn't
the
know the
beginning of the season
Sexton
we wrote them off.
even more.
Yeah, and I mean what people are not talking about. And I was watching All the Smoke podcast earlier, so this is a little bit more influenced by them. Is what people are not talking about is before Darius Garland tore his ACL, he was considered the #1 point guard in that draft.
Yeah.
Before he tore his ACL, the #1 point guard in that draft. We might be talking about something whole different if Darius Garland was healthy going into that draft. We might not be talking about Zion Williamson being the #1 guy. Because now we're seeing a fully healthy Darius Garland after dropping to the Cavs in the draft that year.
Yeah.
And he is surrounded by a bunch of athletic wings, Isaac Okoro, Seti Osman. You got Laurie Markkanen.
He's really a PG out here to me. Like he's really facilitating the scoring, and he's really running that team. I know a lot of people are ready to kind of, because they see this emergence from Garland, ready to throw Sexton in the trash. Like, oh, they don't. Like, oh no, I think they're gonna roll with him. And I think those types of personalities is what he wants and what he likes, and I think they're gonna roll with it.
Yeah, the biggest thing to me that impresses me about the Cavs is you got a Kevin Love who came into this season ready to be traded, saying, yo, send me to a contender. I'm ready to go and, play a significant role somewhere. This man is averaging 20 to 24 minutes a game, putting up numbers.
Yeah.
Putting up numbers, 15 and 9 off the bench.
Yeah.
Shooting great from the three-point line. He's a great leader over there. I think he's really settled himself into a role with those young guys. Evan Mobley's playing like a damn vet.
Yeah.
Jared Allen is balling.
He's polished. Evan Mobley is polished, man. He really hoops, bro. I enjoy watching him.
I agree 100%, man. Cavaliers surprised at the NBA so far. Any final thoughts, man, before we wrap it up?
No final thoughts. No, none. We got it off. Sean Payton fake as hell. And just to reiterate, if y'all came late, unless Sean Payton comes out and says something, terminally, whatever it is. On a football level, Sean Payton, you fake as hell. On the football level,
you're gonna leave that whole franchise in shambles.
We don't talk about nobody on a personal level. We only speak on you as athletes and what you do within the court of your sport.
Facts.
What you do outside of that, it's your own business, man. Live your life. Sean Payton is a head coach. If you really left because of that, you fake as hell.
Leaving their franchise in shambles. Hey, on a positive note though, it gives the Panthers a chance to get into the playoffs next year, bro. Like,
but even the Saints with no head coach, I still have the worst head coach in the division. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. The Saints have no head coach. The Bucks might lose 3 of them, and the Falcons have a second-year head coach, and I still have the worst head coach in the division.
Hey, man.
And which is crazy. And what is crazy to think, if Arians and Carroll was to leave, Sean McVay will be the longest tenured coach in the NFC.
Damn. He ain't even been there that long.
6-7 years. Arians, obviously we know Arians and Carroll got decade and a half under them. You know what I'm saying? McVay's the next senior head coach. After that, Kingsbury and LaFleur and then Matt Rule. Matt Rule going into his 3rd year will be one of the top 4 or 5 senior coaches in the NFC.
Hey man, # fire Matt Rule. That's what we're going. I'm gonna throw that in the description of every future episode until Matt Rule is gone. # fire Matt Rule.
Still, that's sad to say that with these teams everywhere losing, I still have the worst head coach in the division.
Not even fire Matt Rule. I'm gonna put # save Carolina because Carolina needs to be saved.
No, I can tell you this today. I promise you. I believe we gave a brand new chef great ingredients. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all before when we talked about the Panthers, I said I feel like everything about this team I was right about, in the sense that the weakest part of our team was the most important part of our team. Head coach and quarterback. Head coach and quarterback. Brian Burns, Hassan Reddick, the individual players to me are there. DJ Moore, 3 years in a row, 1,200 yards. I'm not saying he's a top 10 wide receiver. He's damn good though. He's really, really good. Still got CMC, but we now have to add the when healthy to CMC,
You got
which
Robbie
is a problem.
Anderson.
But CMC's paid, so don't trade him. Just keep him. You already paid him. Just keep him. You know what I'm saying? Just manage his workload. Literally, even ask you if we literally just made CMC a third down back to the point where you knew,
bruh.
Even to the point where you knew, yo, he's just gonna come out the backfield and run a route. I'll take those odds.
He's still one of the better receivers on your team at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take those odds if I know CMC's coming in and running a route. I think, like, for example, let me ask you then. Matt Rule gets fired today.
Mm-hmm.
We hire Brian Flores. How would you feel about us going into next year?
With the defense y'all got?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, that's nasty.
Okay.
That's nasty.
We fire Matt Rule and we bring in Brian Dable. Buffalo's got it.
Oh, that's a steal.
So my point is going to stand with Carolina until Matt Rule is gone. This team has no success in them.
Because if y'all bring any coach at this point, right? Any coach at this point, you have a defense that's gonna carry you through that division. And then as long as you got a play caller over there, I would even go and look at what's his face from Dallas. Dallas.
We hired Ben McAdoo.
I'm not a fan of Ben McAdoo.
There's only one reason why I like Ben McAdoo now. Only one. And I had to go do some digging on him. And obviously a whole bunch of Carolina YouTubers I watched did some digging on him. They went in on this man. The only thing McAdoo did right was his quarterback rankings over the last 4 drafts. He said Patrick Mahomes was the best quarterback in his draft. He said they tried to trade up for him in New York, but New York wouldn't let him do it.
Ugh. He
said Josh Allen was the best quarterback in the draft and Lamar was second. He said Baker was 6th. His quarterback, he had an article that came out that said, I don't like Sam Darnold's throwing motion, so I don't think he's going to be good. He said, I don't need my quarterback to hand off the ball. I need my quarterback to throw the ball. I don't like his throwing motion. He was like, it's not something that can't be fixed, but it's not something that I like. He's been right on evaluating quarterbacks, but that's why they said his time as an OC was good, but not as a head coach because he didn't like Eli Manning's throwing motion. And they said he was trying to sabotage him to get permission to get a new QB. And they both just ended up getting kicked out the building at the same time. So the only thing that I'm glad he's there for is because I can trust his evaluation. I'm not saying the execution, but because he picked the best quarterback in the last couple of drafts, if there's a quarterback I feel we're favored for this year, I'd be like, okay, I can kind of trust your last resume. Now, do I think you could coach him? No, I don't think he could coach him because Matt Rule is a control freak. So he doesn't he's gonna override anything he tries to do if he doesn't like it. That's why I say he does. Like you said, you said it earlier. You hired a GM first, you hired a coach. We did it backwards. We got the coach, then we brought in Fitterer last year. Matt Rule has all the power. This is a bad man to give all the power.
You think Matt Rule makes it out this year? Or do y'all need to have a top 10 pick in the draft for y'all to make it out?
No. The only way Matt Rule keeps his job is we have to be a playoff team. It's the only way. For me, I think if he goes 2 games under 500 next year, at any point, he's fired. I think that without a doubt him out. Because if you didn't fire him now, he's not gone. But if you go into next year, and we got a very, very tough schedule, because we play the AFC North and we play the NFC West. So Damn. We might open, we're gonna play Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, and we're gonna play the AFC North.
Y'all gonna start off with a losing record.
Exactly. So my hope is we start off 0-2, 0-3, and he's out the door. That's because I know he's gonna be here. So I feel like he's gonna try to save his job by drafting a quarterback number 1. And I'm like, I don't want him to do that because he doesn't get another chance.
Cool.
So
we'll probably dive into that a little bit more as we get into the offseason after the Super Bowl, man. But this is y'all first time watching. Y'all made it this far. Make sure y'all like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. Check us out, man. We do more than just sports. We're always gaming. You'll see a playlist of some gaming on there. We got some new Apex stuff coming out with the 9v9 next season.
Yep. We'll definitely be into that.
Dying Light, is that what it is that y'all are playing?
Dying Light comes out February 7th.
February 7th, Dying Light.
Give us 2 days to play that before we get ready to meet up in Vegas. Yeah. So we'll get into that. But definitely, man, as of right now, every Wednesday, get with us. Down in the description or somewhere around here, you should see links to everybody's Twitch streams. Go hit them. Make sure y'all follow up. Let's help to get the Oos Moonwalk affiliated. And we just thank y'all continued support.
Yes, sir. Check out the vlog. I'm gonna start vlogging here in the next week, going into Cream City, so that when we do get to Cream City, y'all will have a my perspective of kind of what that preparation is looking like going into meeting everybody for the first time in person, aside from like 1 or 2 people. We all know like 1 or 2 people going into this out of like 10 of us. So
yep. Let's go.
All right, y'all. Episode 33. See you next week for episode 34, going into the Super Bowl weekend.
Let's go. We out.